But you're showing that you're having a good time together.
That's a fat turn off for me.
Yeah. How about if they're snapping you though?
Yeah.
I like being snap me.
I mean, I'm not gonna look. We've all done it. I've done it 100%.
Yeah,
I've done it.
yeah.
I do it quite a bit, to be honest. Not gonna
I've
lie.
never done that.
But you've never done it. Why? Because you don't have an iPhone.
I don't. Fam, you know.
One of those things, he actually does have an iPhone. It's crazy.
Bad vibe. Welcome back to the Second Generation podcast featuring me, myself, Abbas, and Nove. And today you're probably wondering, like, who are these two acquaintances we have with us? Acquaintances. We're using big words today, and not like that. I want to impress you guys, man. Today we got our brothers. You guys introduce yourselves.
Should I go first? Or?
Yeah, go on.
Alright, so my name is Abdul Rahman, and I'm also known as Abbas's brother. You might be able to see the resemblance, you might not, but that's the facts. And I'm here to speak with the boys and see what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm Mohammed. I'm Abdullah's dad.
Abdullah's
brother. Correction.
Chill out.
I'm Abdullah's brother. And yeah, man, we're here. Thanks for inviting us. Can't wait to get in.
Talk to us though. What do you guys do, man? What's your day to day?
So we're both uni students. So obviously we've been doing that for the past couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it really. Outside of that, we work as well.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
9 to 5 slaves. Slave to
Branded,
capitalism, you know how it is.
But how are you guys finding work or uni as well?
I mean, it's all right. So obviously we're on our summer break, so we're not going to uni right now. And work. So I work as a vaccinator. That's been okay. You meet a lot of different types of people. Kind of discussing the types of people that you meet as a vaccinator. But yeah, it's been good. You know, you get to develop certain skill sets, communicating with people. Working as part of a team and stuff like that. It's been blessed.
Yeah, me personally, I've been working in retail for the past 2 years, and that's been a really interesting experience alongside uni. I mean, the one thing that you've got to do when you're working and going to uni as well is balance, both things. And it's difficult. Sometimes I'll be coming back from uni, I'm not bothered, but I'll have to go to work until about 11 o'clock. So, it's difficult, but we've got to make the bread, innit?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. How do you guys find the time to balance both work and studies?
To be honest, like I don't want to come on here and be like, I don't have any time. Like I'm studying to the It's not that deep. Obviously, during term time, you've got to be smart with the extracurriculars that you take up in it, because you don't want to compromise your uni studies. That's what comes first. But yeah, it's just about balance. So I don't work during term time. I've never had like a proper job during term time. I've done like tutoring, which is super flexible.
Okay.
But yeah, there's enough hours in the day to do more than one thing. This whole, idea of not having any time is just it's a myth,
Yeah. For me, it's really been about discipline, to be honest, because I do have a fixed job. And I do have to work almost every weekend and one day during the week. So during the first year I made the mistake of not really having a routine, and so that led to me cramming a lot during the exam time, and it kind of worked, but things could have been better. But this year I've learned a bit, and with a bit more discipline and finding routines with what I do, I've been able to fit everything in, and I think that's something that I'd advise other people to do if you want to work and do uni at the same time.
I've heard that like retail is very it's the worst.
It's terrible, man, honestly.
Like customers and
Do you want to tell the people where you work?
I think retail will do it. I don't want any of you subscribers rocking up to
There's only
if you see me, hi.
There's only a few stores in the UK, so
They're gonna be like,
you know exactly where my man works.
They're gonna be like, oh my god, that's Sebastian's brother. Oh my gosh. Can I get a picture?
It's just someone that looks like me. It's not me.
Yeah, I couldn't hack retail, so I did a day at Next. So during the sales period,
I was there too.
You were there, innit? Yeah. They were recruiting people, and when I tell you, oh my god,
Should Next be like fun? Like
fun?
What?
relax. Next. It's empty more time, isn't it?
Empty during sales season. That's when it's peak.
Wow.
You know.
You have to fill up clothes and stuff. And
Yeah, so we had to prepare the items for sales, innit?
Yeah, we did.
So we were putting tags on and stuff like that. It was just.
Was this summertime or Christmas? It was summer, innit? At the start
I
of
think
summer.
it must have been summer because we weren't studying and stuff.
Because then we went to the other job afterwards for about 2 months. And, I don't know if we'll digress into that.
Yeah, I think it was summer, but yeah, retail is a mare, honestly.
Yeah.
Retail and working in like hospitality, restauranting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Service.
It's just it's not the one.
That's one thing I don't think I could do. Like being a waiter, I'd just be spilling stuff on everyone.
Yeah.
People disrespect you there as well,
That's true. That's true.
There's certain people in the world do
For
not
real.
have. Yeah, but you see with that transition between your secondary school life and going into uni and working and stuff, was that a smooth transition for you, or was it quite like a bump in your life?
I mean, looking back, I feel like it definitely could have been smoother. You know, there are loads of things that I wish I had maybe taken up. So just for some context, so I go to King's and I do medicine.
Ooh.
And when I started, there was a bit of like a culture shock. And I'm sure Abdurrahman can relate. Like culture shock is in the culture of the university.
Okay.
You know, the types of people that go to uni.
Especially when you're doing medicine or any scientific type stuff.
To be honest, any sort of course in London, you're going to have, because London is quite popular, it's the capital, so there's lots of international students, there's lots of students from outside of London and stuff. So you get to see what, wider society looks like, and you kind of realize, okay, this is my place in wider society. I'm probably not as represented as whatever I should have been or should be.
Or I think, innit?
So coming to grips with that, going back and forth, because obviously we went to a certain school.
Of course.
I was so close to paying out the school. Yeah, we went
3/4 of the people here.
Do you know what I mean?
Went to that school. We have one person who
Trust me, man.
Yeah, certain type of
chose to
school.
snake it.
You know, you're used to your boys, and the people that go to the school are from a certain type of background. You know what I mean? So going to uni and finding out that the world is so different.
It's not just black people. Wow.
Yeah, the world is so different. Adjusting and finding your place. Not so much finding your crowd, because one thing I learned is, there's a difference between being comfortable and then being stagnant, if that makes sense. Yeah? So if you come from, a certain background, you're used to, the workings of that friendship group or whatever. And then you find yourself in a different environment and you gravitate towards only those types of people, you're shutting yourself out from so many different experiences with so many other people. Do you know what I mean? So I learned to sort of have more peripheral vision and not be so narrow in the people that I speak to, in the type of events that I go to, etc. So to answer your question, just touch the mic. It wasn't smooth, and I didn't expect it to be smooth, but I'm fortunate that I've been at uni long enough to know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So it's about keeping an open mind and going in, talking to as many people as possible, getting stuck in to as many things. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, but for me personally, the transition was also far from smooth. After I finished my A-levels, what I decided to do was take a gap year because I felt like I needed it. I mean, A-levels were so stressful, but both first and second years I felt like I was consistently working around the clock. And that gap year was great for me, to be honest, because that's when I first started working and interacting with different types of people, because I felt like when I was back in school, it was work, go home, repeat every single day. And because of this experience, I've managed to, gain social skills that I might not have gained if I went straight into uni. So at the same time during that year, I started other hobbies like going to the gym and
baking.
Baking.
Me and apple crumble.
Yeah, me and apple crumble.
With supervision. I'm playing.
Yeah, I just need someone to cut that piece for me. But I mean, I feel like if you do ever feel like you're cornered by your workload, I think it's important to take a seat back and then look after your mental health, because I think sometimes we don't talk about that enough, especially as young people. And I feel like personally my experience with that year and how much it helped me get back on track with my mental health and going into my new course. And that helped out a lot, because otherwise you go into these courses with all these different people, and sometimes you might be intimidated because you're not used to interacting with a lot of people. And so when I went into this course, I've been able to make a lot of new friends who've helped me along the way. And I definitely encourage taking time out after you graduate. I don't know how our parents would feel about it, but I did it, and it worked out for me. So it's my story.
Yeah. So Mohammed, you said earlier that about finding new friends when you transition towards that uni life, networking and stuff like that. So before, like for both of you, did you stay in touch with the previous ones? Like,
So that was part of the problem. So you know how we spoke a bit about comfortability and stagnation. I thought I said stagnation. Same thing, in it. Stagnation.
Oh, no.
Being comfortable and how that can actually lead to you stagnating in your social relations and all other aspects of life. So obviously, we went to school. We made friends for life.
Secondary school.
Exactly. Secondary school, sixth form, friends for life. And we both lived at home, so we were commuting from home. And so I personally didn't find the need to make new friends because I got friends already. Do you know what I mean? So that definitely got in the way, because I'd go into uni, do what I had to do, and then I'd run home to be with the people that I was comfortable around. Do you know what I mean? And that's not healthy, because you can't escape, socializing and interacting with people. So it's when I started being more comfortable and more involved that I started to make friends at uni and stuff. Like I said, you have to go into it with an open mind. Know that it's going to be different, but different isn't always bad. Stay true to your values. Don't go absolutely mad. It's easy to go absolutely crazy at uni, and a lot of people do, and then then you
lose yourself.
They sort of
trying to impress other people.
They reach rock bottom or whatever, and then they you have to be true to yourself and be open to new experiences and meet new people.
I think what generally happens with friendships is that eventually, when you start deciding what career paths you might want to go down, or what interests you might take up, people naturally start to go in separate ways. So what I've found is the people who might have been doing the sciences or the math subjects, we're in the same classes. So I continued to talk to those people, and I continued to build maintain those friendships. And even one of my good friends now, we went to the same uni, did the same course. And thank you, Safwan, for passing the note. And those are the friendships that you maintain. And obviously, I would never advise to go to uni and then reinvent yourself as a completely different person. And I feel like some people just do that, and people who feel like they've been suppressed maybe by their parents, who may have imposed too many rules on them, and they go and feel like, I'm a brand new person. You have that guy who goes and thinks he's a bad man all of a sudden. He's gonna scrub his whole life.
Ray and nephews.
And Ray and nephews. What do you know about Ray and nephews? Should I call your parents out? But yeah, man.
Yeah, and I think it's you have to be comfortable with the fact that you're gonna have different types of friends. Not everyone's gonna be your best friend.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like the whole premise, he's my best friend, blah blah blah. You have some friends that you don't talk to.
Do you
know what I mean?
No, those are the best friends to have
for like 2 months.
Like you see,
you didn't talk to
this guy's antisocial. The best friends to have are the ones that you don't talk to.
Now you see those friends, like you could be boys, right?
Yeah.
And then not talk for like 2 years. Then you're like, yo, what's up?
And it still vibes when you link up. It's like no time has passed.
This guy said 2 months. I was thinking 2 years as well.
No, it's true. Yeah. So I had that recently. I met with a friend that I haven't seen in person in a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was like we were together yesterday.
But there's so much
you know what I mean?
Talk about. You just don't know where to start.
Not necessarily, because obviously you still maintain a relationship. You're still texting, you're still whatever, Snapchat, Instagram. It's hard to completely sever a friendship nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of social media.
Socials,
so we were still in contact, but we'd never met in person, obviously because of the pandemic as well. But the point I was trying to make was there's different types of friendships. There's people that you don't see in a very long time and you vibe with straight away. There's people that, as Abdurrahman was saying, you realize you have less in common with just naturally, and you start to drift apart.
Exactly.
No bad vibes. It's just life, innit?
Yeah.
Man's doing, I don't know, business, and I'm doing. I was gonna say finance, the same thing, innit? And I'm doing, I don't know, fashion. Like, you're gonna start drifting apart in your common interests and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's friends that are sort of like situational and like in certain environments you vibe with. So, for example, people that you. Yeah, like people that you like
go to the cinema
with, or people that you play a certain sports with.
Yeah.
So I'd go to the gym with a certain group of people, then I'd probably go to Thorpe Park with a different group of people, and then do you see what I'm trying to say?
That's
so
true,
so long as you realize that not everyone's gonna be your best friend. I'm sure you guys are like that already. Like, generally, guys tend to be okay with not calling each other. That's a bit weird. But so long as you know that not everyone's friendship, gives you the same thing,
it's true.
then it's completely fine. Yeah.
In that sense, do you regret not moving out or moving to a uni inside London? Or like, do you want to, go to uni outside?
This guy's bringing up topical stuff. Mad. So we both lived at home, and we already talked a bit about. I'm gonna say this word again. Comfortability. Okay. There's certain things that you're not gonna get involved in if you live at home at uni. People that that live in uni accommodation, they tend to go to more social events, they meet more people, they make stronger friendships. It's like going to secondary school or sixth form. You're together more, so you're generally gonna
Well, people do say there's an argument that it's part of the uni experience. What do you think of that? Like the partying, the meeting people and that. Like,
I feel like this goes down to. Do you wanna?
No, go on, keep going.
You're
on a roll, man.
No, I feel like this goes down to and you can chip in with your experience, but I feel like it goes down to your values. So like Abdurrahman said earlier, and I'm sure you can elaborate. There's certain people that feel like their entire lives they're sort of like chained. Just chained to that desk. Where's the key?
As soon as the chain breaks,
you know what I mean?
like a kind of
like a second lease of life.
exactly.
And they reinvent themselves, whatever that means. They go crazy, right? And it's because a lot of the times, I don't fully know exactly what I want out of life and exactly who I am, but a lot of the times it comes down to like a sort of like identity crisis. You don't know who you are. You don't know the things that you value. You don't really know your non-negotiables yet. You're still trying to figure things out. So you try everything, right? It's like a life of excess. I want to try this, and I've never had Ben and Jerry's this flavor. Let me, get £5. You go and splurge, So it's a bit like that. So I feel like so long as you know what your values are and you have those non-negotiables, those things that you're like, no matter what, I am not going to do this, I am not going to do that, and you keep it stepping, I think you're fine,
It's also your upbringing, to be honest, because sometimes you might want to try something, but no matter how much you try, that little voice in your head will tell you, no, this is not you. And most of the time for me, I don't know about you guys, I listen to it. And that's how I've lived my life so far. And, everyone slips up. But I feel like a lot of people go to uni because they feel like they can slip up and nobody's going to reprimand them. And, they feel like that's freedom. But at the end of the day, you do that and you focus on partying and going off to girls and all of that stuff. And then you forget the main reason you're even there, which is,
study.
To get an education. So that might sound like the salty answer because, I don't go out and have fun and all of that.
You can still go out and have fun and do all the things that, you want to do. So, like, there's lots of...
still in moderation.
Yeah, there's lots of, like, societies as well at uni. So... the whole concept of society is just to encourage social interaction and stuff. So you get involved in things that you might be interested in. It might be fundraising, it might be a sports team, it might be music or whatever it is. And you get to meet new people. So that's one nice way of broadening your social circle and stuff.
But this might be a bit premature for Abbas. But Abdullah, what about you? What do you think you'll be interested in? Going outside of London? Or?
My university choice is outside of London, so I'm going to be living on campus.
Oh.
And
if I let you. Whoa.
Nah. So Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go crazy. I'm not. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's
I'm not
save
that
this
guy.
clip.
I'm not going to be having Indomie at home. I'm not going to be ordering Uber Eats every
You're not
single
gonna
5
cook,
minutes.
fam.
Yeah, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook.
There's nothing wrong with Uber Eats. Come on, man.
No, but you every day
It's
Uber
expensive,
Eats
besides the
gets
price.
prices.
Yeah,
It is a bit expensive.
Yeah, taking our student loans for mad spending. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm
You're not gonna
be
take student
myself.
loan.
No, yeah, no, I'm not saying
What are you gonna do
mad
with it?
spending. Because you know that man that got clubbing, like take money and it's expensive as well, innit? So I feel like I'm gonna do it in moderation,
Yeah.
calm down, experience my freedom a bit, and then
Experience your freedom.
Experience your freedom.
Just-
Yeah, what does
Yeah,
that
I
mean?
don't know about that
Exploring
word.
that.
It's
You gotta
crazy.
pick
Yeah,
your
let's-
words carefully.
let's take
man.
that back. Let's take that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fair
what
enough.
what inspired you to try a uni outside of London?
Me.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah,
tried yet.
Oh.
Is it?
Why-
To
why- why do you
want
want
to-
to-
Oh,
want
okay,
to
why
try.
he wants
Oh, my
to-
school basically there was a talk and the head of the sixth form was like, your social life outside of London is much more better because in London you just have your lecture and go home straight away.
Yeah.
You don't meet anyone.
Yeah.
Because uni is not a social place. It's not. You just go there for your lecture and come home. Whereas, I mean, you have your societies. Blah, blah, blah.
That's fine, carry on.
So yeah, outside of London, you're living on campus, meeting different people every day. People doing different courses, and different experiences. You know, different people from everywhere as well.
Yeah.
Especially like Cambridge or Warwick, where it's diverse as well. So yeah, I feel like student life is better there.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's true because in London, you meet mostly Londoners in it. I've only met one Manny guy. And I love his accent in it. I'd love to be outside of London and meet all these northern guys. And I think when you go outside, that social aspect, is a lot more prominent.
Yeah, I mean it's you're forced to interact with people.
Yeah.
You're living outside of your comfort zone,
Exactly.
literally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's no hiding behind your friends from back home or the little pool of Londoners that you find. You have to be social and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, with you guys as work groups, right? I'm guessing you guys are smart. You guys are. What you guys studying again?
I'm smart, yeah.
What you studying again? Yeah, you are smart, man. We like biomeds, something
That's
like
such
that.
a-
Yeah, I'm doing
I feel like that's
biomeds.
such
I'm
a
doing
what's
biomeds.
it? I feel like that's such a not to diss the compliment, but
Yeah,
it's very
a vague compliment.
Yeah.
It's,
Fam, just take the compliment.
let me
man. Smart.
you know.
You know,
No,
like-
I took it, but
Yeah.
what does smart even mean? Anyways, carry on.
All right. Yeah.
Ask your question.
Actually, what does smart?
What does smart even mean? Because obviously, there's different types of smarts, right?
That's true.
There's being street smart,
Yeah.
Business
certain
smart.
man, exactly,
Yeah.
and then there's being book
Book
smart and
smart,
stuff.
yeah.
And even book smart has its levels and stuff. 'cause-
Maybe intelligent is the better word.
Yeah, there we are. But then there's different types of intelligence, emotionally intelligent. But yes,
Generally, yes. Generally,
What's the question?
generally
What's the question?
intelligent. Yeah. So
drifting.
do you get good GCSEs? Yes, that's more specific.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are.
since you guys have good grades and stuff, you're going to decent unis, I think.
Mhm.
I don't know much about unis,
Good unis.
Yeah.
but yeah. So you see with studying, right? I mean, actually, no. Jump back to secondary school.
Yeah.
You see with studying, I'm presuming that you guys were in like high sets and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's say you were with smarter people,
Yeah.
and then did you have that problem where you had like another friendship group, and they were in a lower set than you?
Well, just to
Oh,
make
yes.
yourself feel smart.
Not to make yourself feel smart.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
let's
yeah.
say like you're in a higher set, and then your peoples are in a different.
The ones that share your interest. You mean?
Yeah, the ones that
Okay.
like your boys with and you
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
chill
yeah.
with,
Mhm.
they're in a different area and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
did you find it hard to study like with that group? Did you try?
So it's like what we said earlier about friendships.
Yeah.
There's
You have
different.
different groups.
You get different things.
I
from
mean,
different
you
people.
can't necessarily cut them off though.
It's not
Doesn't
about
mean
cutting
cutting
off.
them
Yeah.
off,
Yeah, it's not about cutting off.
Yeah.
So like, you're right. We were in top set,
Mm.
and I feel like there's certain stereotype. You got.
No.
There's a certain stereotype.
The nerdy
Okay.
kids. The nerdy kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
The nerdy kids.
I mean, there's
no such thing.
these stereotypes. I feel like are timeless. Okay.
No, it's kind of.
There's certain stereotypes.
What stereotypes? I want to hear.
The smart
I
guy, he
wanna
wears
hear it.
glasses, he's very studious, he's
Yeah.
rubbish talking to girls, he's very, 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 what you see on TV, okay?
Yeah.
What's that character's name in Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Shut up, Tagandu, what's his name?
Corrupted, shut up, good time.
Raj, just
You know, let's not.
It was shut up. It was shut up, good
You
time.
know?
Yeah, I'd say that.
It was.
But listen,
It
there's a
was shut
certain.
up, good time. Remember?
Okay,
It was
yeah,
shut up,
exactly.
good
Yeah.
time.
There's a certain image, right? There's a certain image.
Yeah.
So obviously, you do have some of those.
yeah, of course.
Those,
100%.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You do.
there's like
There's-
5
Yeah,
in the class of 30.
yeah. And then you also have, you know, people that you vibe with, people that you have common interests with.
Yeah.
That's the key word, common interests.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily always in lower sense.
You don't necessarily need to always mix education with your friendship.
Mm.
That's not always how it works. It's just that generally, when you're in the same classes as people all the time, those are the people that you gravitate towards. So most of my friends used to be people who would be in the classes that I'm in.
Yeah.
But, I did have some friends in lower sets, and I would still talk to them, just not maybe about work. We talk about interests, about football,
Yeah,
you know.
I heard that.
Yeah.
So are you having struggles to differentiate between those groups, or?
No, not really. It just gets.
You're popular in it, like they're fighting over you.
No, I won't say I'm big.
Like,
I won't say I'm big. I won't say I'm big.
When you get the calls and one's like,
Nah.
Abbas, let's meet up.
You like, let's go to the library. You lot are gassing me, man.
I'm too popular. I'm only one person. I'm only one person, man.
I've got many do-rags.
Don't listen to me.
I've got many do-rags, but I'm only one person. So, Abbas, what are your interests then? What do you?
My interests are like. I used to like PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
I feel like I've grown out of it a little bit. There was a point where FIFA started to give me anger issues. I can't lie.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Was
stopped.
that point today or?
No, it was Ask Doran. My FIFA age was bad.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, sports.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty good at like nearly every sport, if I'm honest.
Okay. Mr. Humility.
And yeah.
Exactly. And look, people have their glow ups.
Yeah.
People have their glow ups at different times.
Yeah.
Okay? There were certain people at school. You looked at them, you're like, big man, why are you wearing your trousers that high up? What's going on at home?
Yeah.
Huh? And you look at them now, you know, they've got skin fade. You're like, whoa. Do you know what I'm talking about? People glow up at different times.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously because we're older and we've lived longer
That's
by virtue of us being older.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
experience. And
You know, we've seen people transition from being a certain way, you know. So yeah, you got to be patient with people, man. You can't judge people off of face value. It's not even right. Like,
Yeah.
how can you judge a person because
I mean,
of, you know?
I don't necessarily. I actually like to explore a lot of people's personalities, if I'm honest. I mix with a lot of people.
to see what you like.
Huh?
To see what you
No,
like.
just to
What
necessarily
you guys talking about?
explore different.
See what you
people.
like, yeah.
I never heard that.
Oh, yeah, this part of
Elaborate.
the podcast.
You need to see
Window shopping, yeah.
See what I like.
Yeah, so like
Alright.
you don't know who's your crowd. That's what I'm basically trying to say.
I don't know.
Like you're experimenting, going one group. and then-
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Go in one group and then go in another group.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to talk about this whole idea of
Different friendship
reinvention.
groups.
Hmm?
Different friendship
Yeah.
groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the idea of like this whole reinventing yourself.
Mm.
I want to know how you guys would go about reinventing yourselves.
I personally don't like the term.
Yeah. At the time.
Because it implies that there's something wrong with me in my current state.
No, but
I don't understand.
Yeah.
don't you want to better yourselves? You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're talking about self-development.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better yourselves.
Self-development, yeah,
Self-development.
I can vibe with.
That's better.
Reinvention just sounds like
Changing up completely.
I'm getting piercing and
Yeah.
tattoo and mohawk
Sure.
and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, self-development is very important. And I think there's many different ways to go about developing yourself.
Yeah.
It's not just academically, it's socially, it's emotionally. And you sort of have to hold yourself accountable when you mess up
Yeah.
and be like, okay, I messed up. Where do we go from now?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So yeah, so self-development, is at the core should be at the core of everything that you do. And I've had a lot of experiences at uni, which I would say have helped me develop as an individual. And yeah, that's my take on it.
And to be honest, life is just about consistently
Yeah.
developing as well. You're gonna stumble and make your mistakes, but as long as you look back on them and then you improve the next day, then that's all that matters. To be honest,
That's it.
yeah.
So yeah, not so much reinvention, because then like, it's
kind of.
who are you like reinventing for?
Yourself.
Why would you want to reinvent yourself?
So you could be successful, no, in life.
Yeah.
I guess say you're to become a better person.
Okay.
Again, the word reinventing wouldn't be the one I'd use then.
You don't think so?
I'd say to build on yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
to develop
because
yourself as an individual.
you have to have faith that you have good characteristics as well that will help you push towards success.
Yeah.
And you can always add on top of that to help you achieve your goals. So
that's it.
I wouldn't say.
Yeah, there definitely has to be balance. You know, you can't be overcritical and say, you know, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate where you are in the present, live in the present, but then have, you know, the foresight to think about the future as well. You know, don't live too much for the future, otherwise you just end up stagnating. You know, and obviously don't think too much about the past either.
Appreciate the present, innit?
That's it. So we are presently here, which is nice.
But like in terms of being successful in the future, how do you think like education plays a part?
I would say that it depends on what career you want to go into, and it's also about understanding yourself, innit? Because some people are going to be rubbish with books, but they'll be great entertainers, innit? So it's about how you define success. Is success money? Success having, you know, a great family? You know, everyone has their own measures of success. And to be honest, if you're talking about financial success, I feel like you have to have a certain level of education, not necessarily in the sciences like we're doing, maybe in, you know, economics or maths or any other, even fashion. I'm not dissing the fashionistas out there, but
everyone today.
Where the cameras at?
Out there. But yeah, man. I feel like when you have your interest and you pursue it and you work hard at it, you'll eventually see success.
Yeah, I feel like, so you have to have a certain grounding.
Yeah.
You have to have the foundational knowledge, but anything above, I would say personally, like GCSE, like Abdullah said, it depends very much on what you want. So if you want a certain career and you know that going to uni is going to help you work towards that career, then you have to go to uni. Certain careers is no option. But if it's vocational, or, you know, if it's more of a, you know, something that you can do outside of uni, then definitely. I feel like, honestly, I wouldn't say uni is overrated, but
for certain courses it is.
Uni is overrated for certain courses, you know, and it's more of a cultural thing, you know. Everyone's going to uni.
You have to go.
Yeah, it's a thing to do, so it's really hard to go against that cultural grain, but you got to be true to yourself and ask yourself, is this really going to help me? And if it's not, if it's just going to be 3 years and, you know, I don't know, how much is it now, like 40k worth of debt at the end of it, then you might want to reevaluate. You might want to get into that apprenticeship. You might want to, you know, do that gap year and find out what you really want to do.
Do you feel like school prepared you well to go through to uni?
I mean, yeah, because we're at uni, so yeah, school was a success for us.
I have a different outlook to that, because you know, our mum, obviously, from an early age, almost taught me from the ground up. Because when I came back from Gambia at a young age, I didn't give a toss about education in it. Yeah. So through that experience, I kind of had the tools to, you know, go and thrive in school. Because I was somebody who could learn by myself, because I'd been taught to learn by myself, and I feel like a lot of people might not have that background. And if you're not like someone who's naturally disciplined, I think you might struggle. So yeah, I'd say obviously school contributed to help me with my social life and stuff. It was a place for me to take exams, but you know, I'd say I also had a very good, you know, background to start from.
How would you guys recommend to discipline yourself? Because I know I'm not really a disciplined person. You know, even though everyone sees like I only work every now and then when I have exams. How would you guys recommend to train yourself?
So I think it's about, at the end of the day, holding yourself accountable, you know, and that's something you can't learn. That's something you develop with time and experience. But personally, when I was like preparing for GCSEs, A-levels, you have to sort of know what type of learner you are. So You know, do you work well with books? Do you work well with smart cars? So find out exactly how best you absorb information.
Yeah.
And then get into a routine. So Abdullah actually has a very good routine, I'm sure you can talk about, where you do a certain number of hours, or you have a timetable or whatever every day. Don't act. Listen, he's smart. Listen, he's trying not to come off as neaky. Look at him, he's a fat neek. Look at him.
No.
You're a neek, man.
I was trying to think.
Nick's so successful in life,
Listen,
man.
you're always on the computer. You're always doing work. You have a routine. You're using the flashcard. You're using your. So you need to find something that can keep you motivated. And then also be kind to yourself. Reward yourself when you do well. So I used to do this thing where if I'd get through all my tasks for the week, and I still do it kind of, I'd reward myself in some sort of way. Obviously you need a bit financial capital to reward yourself. If you're broke you can sip that water, okay? But if little things like going to the cinema at the end of the week, or linking a friend, or playing a game, or buying yourself something, just to keep yourself motivated. Because I feel like a lot of the times people focus a lot on the long-term goal. I want to get this many A stars at GCSE. And they start working towards that goal and they realize, oh my God, my motivation's dipping. So to keep your motivation sustained and to keep yourself going, you have to give yourself shorter landmarks. So every single time you do well in that, that test, or if you do your revision for the week, give yourself a little gift. That's what I think personally.
I feel like it's important to have a goal, an end goal, and then to be willing to put in as much work as possible to reach it. And I feel like one of the ways I did that was surrounding myself with people who had similar goals when it came to work time. So with exams, you would never say it to each other, but you're competing to see who gets the highest mark. You get it? And I'm not saying that you should go out there and compete and compare yourself to other people, but find people who are, at your level or maybe slightly above your level with education, that you can bounce off of, and that really helps, to be honest, to motivate you and to keep you pushing. And eventually, it'll become routine, and that's how, I've almost been able to find success in education.
Would you guys rather have gone to a grammar school since you're surrounded by people with your ability?
Nope.
Grammar school.
No, I'm happy. Obviously, we're looking at things in hindsight, and alhamdulillah, things have gone well. So grammar school, I feel like, again, grammar schools are overrated. Heavily.
Are we hating or not? Are we hating?
We're not hating at all. We're not hating because, okay, let me break it down.
Did you find 11 plus?
Man was feeling salty, man.
Why are you exposing me, man? Come on, man. I told you we weren't going to speak about it. But yeah, grammar schools are overrated. I feel like what you said earlier about having or developing the skill of independent learning.
Yeah.
That is all you need.
It's true.
Wherever you go, whether it's a grammar school, whether it's a state school, whether it's a college, whatever it is, if you can motivate yourself, no one can chat to you. It doesn't matter where you go. I've seen people go to grammar schools. You see people go to pay private tuition. We all know that guy. Hey, pay for those GCSEs, big lad. Got 2 C's. It's about the individual. How much do you want it? How much work are you willing to put in? And the school, don't get me wrong, the school is important. Can't go to a rubbish school. And as Abdurrahman said, the people that you surround yourself with are also important. So if you go to a school where no one's serious, you need to reevaluate friendship circles. Where no one's serious, and education is not at the core or whatever.
It's fine to be with the unserious people, but
when it's time to be unserious. When it's time to be unserious, go and vibe with unserious people. When it's time to be serious, either find it within yourself to be serious, or if you can't, surround yourself with serious people, because it'll rub off on you. So long answer, or short answer rather. I just gave the long answer. Short answer: grammar schools are overrated. Independent learning is more important. But the school is equally important. If you surround yourself with people that aren't serious, then
you'll be unserious.
Oh yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about you guys growing up. You guys grew up on Nokias. You know what I mean?
Yep. Knock
So
your
like-
brick, the indestructible foe.
Yeah. Snakes.
You tried losing yours.
Trust me,
Hey,
numerous
No
attempts.
face, no face, no case.
he
man.
knew he couldn't break it, so he tried losing it.
I remember
And it still
when
found him.
our dad and your dad went out to buy this Nokia, innit? Then they came back. I thought it was a BlackBerry. I think. Did you think it was a
Yeah,
BlackBerry?
you know, it was wrapped up. It was wrapped up as well.
Was it like purple
I'd
wrap?
been asking for a BlackBerry for about 6 months, innit? And because everyone had
BlackBerry.
one.
Yeah.
So I missed that whole BBM wave. And I thought this was finally my time, and now I'm wrapped. And see the little, what shape is it? Rectangle.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Both our parents, right? Your dad was an accomplice. Our dad was the main one.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, so we grew up in that era,
Yes.
the Nokia.
Yeah, so like, what do you think of kids nowadays in this generation? Do you feel like they're privileged, or you know, they've been given iPads to grow up on, whereas you have been?
Don't want to be salty, but yeah,
You
they're
know
kind of
that.
privileged.
Yeah.
But do you know what? And again, you can't really compare our generation. We're talking like these are two different generations. The crazy thing is, with the advent of social media and you know the way things develop so quickly with technology,
Yeah.
generations aren't a lifetime anymore. Generations are 5 years.
5 years
you
apart,
know,
yeah.
4 or
Yeah.
5 years. So even though
Crazy.
we are part of the same generation, me and my younger siblings,
Mhm.
you could argue that there are many generations between us.
Yeah, we go.
Mhm.
So yeah, to answer your question, you can't really compare because that's all they know, and you know, you can use technology to benefit you. So you can use your iPad, you can use your tablet in moderation. You know, if your parents have certain restrictions and you have a routine and you have everything else around it to make it conducive to your development, it can be amazing. But at the same time, if you rely on it and instead of using it to raise your kids or raising your kids and having it as an aid, it's raising your kids for you or as a substitute for you, then it can obviously be very problematic. So, you know, I don't have any qualms with this generation. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that
What do you think?
I wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
say this generation has it easier. I think they just have different challenges. To
there
be
we are,
honest.
exactly. Different
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because with this internet stuff, you're all exposed to whatever you get your hands on. Like back then, what was our consoles? The Wii.
Wow.
And,
Was that your
and Nintendo's,
challenges?
you know,
This
Legend
one.
of Zelda and that.
This
Yeah, Wii tennis.
Oh, Wii
Yeah.
Sports.
That was
Wii
it.
Sports are legendary, bro.
So that was like
Crazy.
the start of when technology really took that giant leap. And now everybody has tablets and phones.
Yeah.
So, you know, it can be a huge distraction as well. So I feel like it's more difficult for kids to take an interest in reading a book. And, you know, the range of vocabulary of some of these kids is just it's just terrible. It's terrible. You know? They've probably picked up 10 books in their lifetime. And
You'd say
that's
they're
crazy.
doomed.
Yeah.
Because, and even myself now, I'm a victim of it. Because before I used to read a lot. And now, phone, tablet, you know, I have all the access I want. I can, you know.
I'm guilty as well, like
it's
flipping heck.
distraction,
Yeah, like
innit?
what is a book compared to a flipping phone?
Yeah,
that's
Do
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's the sort of challenge that parents nowadays have with raising their kids. It's like, how do you sell the appeal of, you know, a 200-page book when there is an infinite amount of stuff you can do on a much more appealing device? You know, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, not to even get into all the issues with mental health and you know, people growing up so fixated on what other people think about them, you know, because, and this is the thing with social media, I was talking about it with my friends the other day, you know, you feel like you're involved in other people's lives constantly. You know, you open up your Snap, you open up your Insta, you're watching people's stories.
Remember when Digga D got with Maya Mills and the whole internet went crazy?
Yeah.
I was like, oh
How
my
did you go
God.
to Digga D and Maya
See
Mills
what I mean?
straight away? I mean,
Everyone's like, so
Listen,
lost. No, I'm just saying.
you could have picked
Hold on.
Messi to PSG.
No, fam. I'm saying.
Digga D
Yeah.
and Maya Mills.
Fam, that was, I can't lie, that was low-key interesting. You see how he shouted it out the day up here. I was a little bit invested in myself.
See, this is the
gap.
This is the generational gap we're talking about.
This is the gap.
It's showing itself.
This is the gap.
But yeah,
Oh,
like I was
okay.
saying,
Who's Digga D?
God. like I was
You'd like to
saying,
say that.
yeah, you're so involved in people's lives. You feel like you almost feel like you're the third person in every 2-person room. You're just standing there watching. That you can build up this false sense of what's the word? I guess feeling like you have to live up to everybody else's expectations. You know, you have to join them.
Like them guys who take pictures at the IKEAs pretending it's their home.
Oh, that's
To
crazy.
start, I feel like that type of stuff is what social media has driven people to do. To show that they have a lifestyle that they don't actually have.
The Dior shop one.
Huh?
The Dior shop one.
Yeah. Pretending that you're buying shoes, all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's almost like everybody's got each other in like a trap. Because you're not free to express yourself how you really want to express yourself, and you're not free to really...
How do you want to express yourself?
as a black Muslim man.
Oh wow! Whoa, identity labels.
Identity labels, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
But that is the trap of social media, to be honest.
No, I agree with you.
I feel like we've all almost felt like, you know what? Maybe I won't upload this picture because my clothes.
Oh, 100%.
My clothes are on it right now.
Yeah.
No designer at the moment. So
100%. Yeah. Or you don't have a haircut. There's no way. No trim. There's no way.
No, I feel like that was always the case with no trim. No.
What?
You used to upload a picture. Back then.
Facebook times.
When I was in year 7,
like people like you guys don't realize how trivial the whole social media thing was when it first started.
Yeah.
Social media was like a way to show people that you're alive.
Yeah.
Like you take a picture of you, I don't know, walking the dog if you have a dog, or you take a picture of you making coffee. Like every day, just like really, really basic activities. But like Abdurrahman said, it's become this sort of highlight reel where we keep upping the stakes. You know, what can you do to outperform? What can you, you know, you got to show. And it's it's messing up people's mental, you know, and we don't know what the long-term effects are. So the generation that have grown up, because it's, I don't want to.
No. Second generation.
Can we say crack?
Yeah.
It's crack.
Yeah.
It's crack in terms of how addictive it is and the way that it works in your brain. It's the same type of thing, right? You have dopamine, blah blah. I'm not going to get into the science, but
there's always something going on.
It's like crack. So when you give kids this continued stimulation for such a long period of time, what effect does that have? On how they turn out?
It's like you're not living for living's sake. You're living for social media. That's really unhealthy.
And you're not living in the present. You're not living. One thing that so much. When you're out, so many people are gonna come out with. When you're out, or birthday, say birthday. But okay, birthday I can understand because you want to capture the moment. When you're out, food comes out. Oh, nice food. Don't touch it to me. Don't touch it. It happened to me last week. It happened to me last week.
2 people, you know.
Do you know? Oh, boomerang. Hey, boomerang.
Yeah, they're like, don't eat it as well. Why you buy your chicken?
It happened to me last week. So you're not. By the time I was halfway through my meal, people were still recording the food. I was like, damn, what's going on?
It's crazy. You're not even present. You're not. I think it's. It's all coming up.
No, that's right.
I think it's a bit disrespectful to the people that you're with. Obviously, if everyone is doing it, you're all doing it. Fine. It's become this social practice, right? It's just habit now, right? Everybody does it. But I feel like if you are talking to someone, right? Oh, this is going mad.
Keep going, man.
And you're there and you want to appreciate the person, whipping out your phone to like take a picture of food or whatever, that's disrespectful. You're not present in the moment.
But the chances are you're both going to be whipping out your phones, to be honest.
But yeah, sure, having a good time together.
That's a fat turn off for me.
Yeah.
How about they're snapping you though?
Yeah.
I like being snap me.
I mean, I'm not going to... Look, we've all done it. I've done it 100%. I've done it. I do it quite a bit, to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
I've never done that.
But you've never done it? Why? Because you don't have an iPhone?
I don't you know...
Honestly, he actually does have an iPhone. It's crazy.
Bad vibes. Damn. Trying to throw me out.
Yo, we repping for Android gang, innit?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Let's go, man.
I was Android before, but.
Yeah.
Abbas, don't act up for the camera.
I'm not even,
you know Android.
I can't
Let's
lie,
not get
man.
into this. This is not.
Hold on.
podcast.
You can get what you can get in. Actually, no, it's not a technology podcast.
Come on, man.
I
We'll
wanna
just
get
leave it
into
with
some of that.
Android as well.
Wait, what was I saying again?
Oh, that's mad.
I don't even know.
Wait, what was I saying again? What was I
Social
saying?
media, whipping out your phone to take pictures. And
Did you?
Oh yeah,
You don't
I've never done. I never felt the need really to show people I'm eating too tough.
I'm not gonna lie. If I cook and I'm proud of the meal,
Oh
that I
yeah,
made,
if you can,
big man, I'm showing the whole world.
If you cook, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
need that, you need that.
I have. Yeah. When I cook,
There's
that
nothing.
validation.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
But the thing is, you haven't cooked to show it to social media. You've cooked it because
To
you want to
feed
show your
myself,
pride. Exactly.
because my body needs food.
And because it's looked nice.
There we are.
You want to show it to people. That's fine.
Right.
No,
There's-
nothing wrong with that.
It's we're not anti-social media, right? It's about moderation. You know?
I've
It's
snapped my
about-
gym feed before.
Yeah. Oh.
When people asking me for my protein.
Yep.
Because if social media stopped, I think we'd all
Die.
suffer. We'd all suffer, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
You shall die.
But it's about using it and not letting it use you.
Yeah.
That's the key, and that's the key with anything.
quote,
You know,
man.
don't overindulge. Have some balance. You know, hold yourself accountable,
Yeah.
and know when to stop and put it down. You know, that's it.
So what challenges did you guys face when growing up?
Rah. So we've spoken about technology, having a Nokia. That was
Not just technology.
Should we go to the
that was
outfits?
peak. When did you get your first pair of shoes? Like that you bought yourself,
Me.
or that you chose? This is the one I want, and your parents were like, "Ah, fantastic choice, my son. Here's some shoes." And it wasn't a case of, this is what you're getting. Deal with it.
Alright, so I'd say I remember getting 3 pairs of shoes when I was 13 years old.
Damn.
And then those shoes lasted me till I was 18. And then that was the first time.
13.
Yeah. Those lasted me till I was 18 until I got my first job.
Shift.
And then I went on the big shopping spree with this guy. And then, I really splurged, man. I lost myself.
That's good though.
Almost spent my whole
And-
first paycheck just on clothes.
Do you know what it is? When you haven't
Yeah.
shopped for yourself and you've only had a limited number of clothes and shoes to rely on
Yeah.
throughout the years, you don't always make the best decisions. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the shoes that I got on my first shopping trip, I would look back on and be like, "Ew, that's dirty, brother."
What was the point? Yeah.
That is horrible.
It's like Gucci loafers.
Yeah, I had some dusty Nike shoes. I don't even know what brand they were or whatever. The
90s.
Oh,
what are they called?
Number.
Oh mate,
The
yeah,
strap, the strap.
They had straps.
The strap.
Nice.
Back in our day,
Back in the day.
people dressed for convenience and
That's true.
comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort was key.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're running from all the trials in life,
Yeah.
you don't have time to be doing your laces. Do you get what I mean? You just want to quick strap on, strap off, and go. Go about your business. The annoying thing is when there's like lint and like fluff
They
and
go into
stuff,
the strap.
and it kills the
How
strap.
old were you? How old
So then you start strapping, and it's not working, innit? What would you do in that situation?
I tuck it into
Send
the
it
sock.
to-
Tuck it in your
Tuck it
socks.
in.
Tuck it in your socks.
Those were peak.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was one struggle. Like fashion was, there was no such thing as fashion. We just dressed.
That wasn't.
We had the clothes that we had, and we put them on.
I used to think
That
Air
was
Max
it.
95s were like designer shoes. You get me? That,
Honestly, yeah.
to be
You
honest,
know.
that's how it was.
I
man.
remember. You know what was popular in our? I need to stop saying our days. Maybe it sound
Yeah.
old.
No,
innit? What was popular was the Ralph tops, the Ralph polo shirts with the massive horse.
yeah.
You know the big horse,
I know.
not the tiny one.
Yeah.
The big one.
If you had
That
that,
was
you,
the one.
You were the guy. man.
Innit?
If you had
Everyone would wear
shirt,
that.
if you had
Every
that
single
shirt,
every
yeah.
single motive. That's
But
what
it's
you'd
still
wear.
kind of hard when you can drip with when you can arrange it. No.
I haven't seen that in like 5 years.
where's that?
I have not seen.
Let's bring that
I have
back
not
now.
That's
seen
why
that.
champion was a thing back
Man.
then. Like
Champion?
champion, it used to be a big thing.
What, the
man.
tracksuit?
Yeah.
Champion.
And then it
Oh, damn.
dipped, and then now it's come back.
I don't
I
think
don't know.
Champion's ever been popular.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember champion.
I've seen it.
I don't
time
think it's
ago.
ever been popular.
I
to
don't
be
remember
honest.
champion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Nike, Adidas.
Mm.
Puma wasn't really that big, to be
Wasn't
honest.
a thing, was it?
I don't
Puma's
think Puma
never
was.
been
Umbro. That was the one.
Umbro was
I
about-
remember your Umbro boots.
Ah yeah, thanks for that.
I thought I had Umbro boots.
You had
Did I?
umbrellas as well.
Now the worst thing was when I'm gonna expose myself, but when I was in primary school, I had a pair of England shoes.
Oh man.
You get-
England
yeah,
shoes?
England-
Yay!
The full badge and everything. And they weren't actually, they weren't like actual like trainers. You know them skinny. They're made of like really thin material, and they wrap around your foot like a sock.
What?
It's like them shoes.
England Adidas Predator.
Nah,
That's
I wish I had Predators, but they were actual England shoes.
That's what you had.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen them, but it's just been such a long
I
time.
thought my Umbros were bad. I had Umbro football boots, but they had metal studs.
Yeah.
I remember those.
So these things were killing machines.
Yeah.
I remember I only wore them once
Yeah.
in PE. PE teacher was like, nope,
Seriously.
man, you're not wearing those. You're fresh from back home,
No.
coming with too much energy with your metal studs.
I remember
So, yeah.
I was at one point I was dying for a pair of Mercurials. You know, because I used to think
Oh my days.
I used to think I was a techie
Yo,
type
do you know what
player,
the
innit?
crazy thing is? I had a pair of Mercurials,
What, the
and
pink ones?
the tick was pink.
Yeah,
I
And
remember
deep
that. I remember that. You
The
painted
tick was pink,
yeah.
and I was like, no, I'm not wearing it. I'm not wearing it. I don't know.
They were really nice as well.
Pink on
What
football
was
back
going
then,
through?
God, back then.
I don't know.
That
I
was
was
not
just
a
like,
thing.
I was
Most
so
people look
against
into
it.
pink football boots.
Not.
I was so against it. I was like, I'm not wearing it. My dad was like, okay. He was like,
girl boots.
I'll paint
No. Okay.
the pink tick white. So I remember we had like masking tape around around the pink.
Oh,
tick.
no,
He
actually,
was
you
about
went down. You
he was
actually
about
did
to
it.
paint it. Well, I was like, nah, let me send it to Gambia. So I sent it to Gambia.
Were they brand new?
They were new. I hadn't worn them, man. I don't want to wear them.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught on the streets with my pink tick.
And back then it was Mercurials and jeans, innit? It was mad.
Oh my god.
Wait, they were Astros. They just walk around.
Whoa, Mercurials and jeans.
No,
Yeah,
not even
people used to wear football boots
Hold
and
on.
jeans all the
People
time.
used to, but that wasn't a thing.
No, it wasn't a thing.
It was
wasn't-
Astros. It was Astros.
It wasn't the cool people that did
No,
that.
there's still
Astros
people
and
who wore
jeans.
Astros.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
People
that's
do that.
yeah, that's
Damn,
that's a
to the
mess.
park, innit?
Shout out to you guys, innit?
Yeah,
You see those people that
Do you?
came into primary school in a football kit? I wanted to do that so bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who did that?
People in my pro-
You didn't
people in
have a
my
uniform?
primary school did
I was fortunate
No, I
not to
didn't.
be one of those guys.
Damn,
Yeah.
crazy. In pro clubs or foot champs or whatever, it's little things like that. I'd look at it, I'd be like, I used to get so pissed, so worked up
I know.
when my man would be like, start to pray. It's 85 minutes. This is the one. It's online. What? It's online. You realize I can't pause it.
It's online.
I can't pause it. I need 3 points
No, they
to
just stand
get promoted
behind
to
you.
Division 1.